working overtime, being led by none other than the Pakistan Army. On Sunday, Pakistani Army ferried a group of 40 journalists, including international journalists, to the LOC. And then Pakistani media went all out, claiming that India misrepresented facts about surgical strikes, even as the international media refrained from taking a clear stand.
एक बार फिर भारत ने हकाइक को तोड़ मरोड़ कर पेश किया। क्रॉस बॉर्डर फायरिंग को सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक करार दे दिया।
2 दिन हो गए भारतीय जारियत को या झूठी जारियत को, जो भी आप देख लें, तो पाकिस्तान ने भारत को आइसोलेट किया है, शर्मिंदा किया है, इधर नहीं उधर नहीं, पूरी दुनिया में, जिसकी वजह से इंडिया इस डेस्परेशन में, इंडिया ने जो झूठ बोला वो बोला, पूरी दुनिया इस कहानी में इंटरेस्टेड है। जन्नत बाजवा लेके गए हैं प्रेस को, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स को, AFP को, एसोसिएटेड प्रेस को, BBC को, कि आप जाके आम लोगों से बात करें।
Pakistan even blamed India for the last night's terrorist firing on Rashtriya Rifles camp. Pakistan media claimed that it was Indian forces that carried out unprovoked firing across the line of control, targeting their villages.
भारतीय फौज की जानिब से LOC पर सीज फायर मुआहिदे की एक दिन में तीसरी मर्तबा खिलाफ वर्जी की गई है।
इफ्तिखाराबाद, इसके अलावा नेजा पीर सेक्टर के बाद अब भारत की तरफ से केला सेक्टर में भी इश्तियाल अंगेज फायरिंग की गई है।
Pakistani newspapers too are only fueling the lies, calling the surgical strikes a myth. For a nation that is staring at being named a terror state, such acts only show its reluctance to act against terror breeding on its soil.
So the next big question on the program is Indo-Pak conflict, the manner in which it is playing itself out now. Is it simply put being hostage to a propaganda war? And who's responsible for unleashing that propaganda war? Joining me from Pakistan, Shahzeb Jilani, well-known journalist and former correspondent of the BBC. Thanks so much, Shahzeb, for joining us. What's going on, Shahzeb? I'm seeing so many newsrooms, editorials in Pakistan giving a picture which is completely contrarian to what we in India believe has happened with evidence. Is Pakistan really unleashing this propaganda war?
I think it's very interesting that you asked this question. Essentially, this is propaganda on propaganda wars. What you are seeing from Pakistan on TV channels, on newspapers, is basically the mirror image of what is happening in India. I think national media on both sides is in a war hysteria. They have their own point of view, which is very close to their respective militaries and political leadership. Neither side is really willing to look at the other point of view. So I think what many of the reporters and TV anchors are doing in Pakistan is exactly what is happening on your side and what you are doing over there.
So you believe, are both sides missing the point in a sense? Is that the sense, Shahzeb?
I think so, because I think, in TV studios, in the last week or so, we've seen so much yelling and shouting and bad behavior. People thinking that they are being patriotic, they believe that they are projecting their government's point of view, but actually it's just really bad journalism. When you stop questioning people in positions of authority in your own country.
So would you therefore in the same breath also accept that Pakistani media is also practicing bad journalism, because Pakistan also seems to be completely being fed by what is being given to them by their government?
I think so. I mean, I think Pakistani media is very skeptical of Indian claims. India has made its own claims about surgical strikes. They are by and large not accepted in Pakistan.
Okay.
So you've got, hyper-nationalist media on both sides, totally disconnected with public opinion. I mean, I've gone out on streets and I've talked to people, and they are laughing at newspaper reporters, at TV channels about feeding this war frenzy. I think ordinary people on the streets are much wiser than we give them credit for.
Let me go across to Saurabh Shukla then, another well-known defense expert in our country, editor-in-chief also of News Mobile. Saurabh, look at the view being expressed by Shahzeb Jilani. Is that a typical Pakistani view for you? Because let's also be clear that propaganda has been a time-tested tool which has been repeatedly used by various factions of the Pakistani society.
Well, absolutely, Bhupendra. While I'll have all the respect for him, but I must say in this case, he's grossly misinformed. Because if you ask me, public opinion in India is only concerned about one thing, that is terrorism emanating from Pakistan should stop. And I can tell you that that is the moot point here. If there was no terrorism from Pakistan, everyone in India would be advocating better relations with Pakistan. Why is that even liberals in India are today questioning that? Because of the fact that this has been a continuous policy. In fact, I would tell my friend from Pakistan that he should be telling the rulers there, the military establishment there, ashamed to even hold a Pakistani passport. But so let's get facts here. I'm being very rational here. While I would agree that you should stay away from creating a war hysteria, but if there is, and
so you're saying that Pakistan is running away from facts. Let's be clear, Saurabh. You are basically, much like what Shahzeb is saying, that Indians are running away from facts. You are saying that actually Pakistanis are running away from facts.
Absolutely, and I can tell you, for instance, there have been, that in India, media is fiercely independent. We have been critical of government. I've been critical of government on many issues when it came to intolerance. You've been critical, but on an issue like terrorism, the nation is united. When you see innocent people dying, there is no way you can deny the fact. Can he deny the fact that people like Hafiz Mohammed Saeed, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Maulana Masood Azhar, Dawood Ibrahim, they're not in Pakistan?
Now that's factual representation of something which the world knows exists. So why should you, as a seasoned Pakistani journalist, then say that, Indian journalists are also being completely misinformed?
I don't want to make sweeping statements. I think there are some very good journalists in India. I would count Praveen Swami among them. I mean, he has repeatedly, through his investigative reporting, he's exposed.
So anyone who seemingly supports a Pakistani narrative then becomes a good journalist. Absolutely. And anyone who questions the Pakistani narrative becomes a bad journalist. I mean, come on, Shahzeb.
No. What I'm saying is, look, I'll tell you, I can speak for myself, okay? I don't speak on behalf of the government or all of the journalists in Pakistan. I went into journalism because I was always skeptical of people in position of authority. I wanted to question them. I wanted to challenge them. That's why I'm in journalism and that's why I do what I do. The day I stop doing that, I can become a PR person for Ministry of Defense.
So therefore, why are you not questioning the Pakistani moves? Why aren't you questioning this whole move which has been made by Pakistan to take an entire busload of international journalists? How do I know that the location which Pakistan has taken all these journalists to is the location on which this incident is supposed to have happened? Is there any official information, Shahzeb?
Around the world, look, every military around the world takes journalists on these highly controlled trips so that they can see the truth from its perspective. It happens in India, it happens in Pakistan, it happens in the US. But I'm pretty sure that when they were taken by the military in helicopters, they were shown, they were asked to mingle with local people so that whatever army believes, they can see that point of view. And they came back, and many of them reported. BBC reported it with a bit of skepticism. But as a reporter, when you go on these trips, you can only report on what you are allowed to see and